guys, and welcome to another video. So I woke up this morning to a beautiful, gloomy, rainy weather, and I was so inspired to make some videos for you guys, take some photos, be creative, but it's dark as fuck. I really hope it gives more to the aesthetic we're going to achieve today, because darkness and gloominess is really on brand with what we're gonna do. I'm very much inspired by Dark Academia and Royalcore recently. I'm just listening to Royalcore playlists with all these Russian valses and things like that. Dark Academia, if you're not familiar with it, is an aesthetic that picture Harry Potter, Dark Castle, books, dorms, all this stuff, Dead Poets Society as well, things like that. Picture a boarding school somewhere in England in a dark place, so a lot of school uniform, books, philosophy, history, poetry, whereas the Royalcore is more of a princess, queen, knight, king, prince, whatever. It reminds me, to me, because of all the Russian valses I listen to when I am inspired, when I'm making content like this, it reminds me a princess somewhere in Russia, with her white dress in a dark castle, a lot of portraits, a lot of a throne, swords, also medieval, like Celtic stuff like that, I don't know. So what we're gonna need is definitely a dress or a school uniform, something that you wanna wear if you will take a self-portrait, if you are the one in the image. And also we're gonna talk a lot about props, because props are literally saving a photo, because if you have the right props with you, with the right color, the right texture, you create something beautiful with them. You don't need to do a lot in the editing, because you need, I cannot stress this enough, but you need to have the perfect image you have in your head before you take the photo. So after you take the photo, you're only gonna need a few steps in the editing, and that is gonna lift the photo even more and make it beautiful. So it's not the editing that does everything. You really need to have a good picture to begin with. I'm gonna show you the props I use, how I use them, and a little bit of the editing if I manage to film it properly. But yeah, let's get started. So the props I decided to use for this one were some books, this mirror. I also added this beautiful fabric, because Royalcore to me is all about beautiful fabrics, velvet, flowy dresses and things like that. I also added this mask I got from my trip to Venice, and of course candles. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with at the moment. Some books, really flowy, nice fabric, a mask, a dagger, it's fake by the way, a candle of course, and a beautiful mirror with a beautiful frame. So yeah, what I usually do is try to put myself in the mirror, either by editing, or sometimes I manage to take a photo with me on the reflection. The reason I'm not able to do it all the time is because I don't have a lot of space in my room, because right now yeah, there's a lot of fabric here. I don't have a lot of space to pose, but yeah, I chose this place because it's near the window, and the little light that comes, it reflects here and it creates this beautiful effect. So yeah, let's try and take some photos. Okay, so I will show you how I take the picture. I'm filming with my phone now, by the way. But basically I use a tripod because it's really dark and we wanna put all the settings to the more light. So in order to do this we need to have a stable frame. So we're gonna use a tripod and we're gonna use a self-timer. I don't wanna press the button, because while you press the button you can move the camera and it can become a bit shaky. So here is what we have at the moment. timer. I'll add 10 seconds. I think that's okay. So I'm just pressing the button here, make sure it's focused. Okay, so I've inserted myself in the mirror. I'm just waving at the moment. And I'll try to take the photo. I will do the same thing, self-timer and a tripod. I need a steady shot, so yeah. And here is the final photo that we're gonna add inside the mirror from the other photo that focuses on the mirror and everything else rather than the reflection that's happening on this one. And I'm just gonna select the inside of the mirror and then invert my selection to everything else but the inside of the mirror. It's easier than to select everything else. I do this, it saves me more time. And so I add the reflection between the two layers. It's like a layer sandwich. And I try to put it as best as I can so that it looks realistic, and then I just go and erase some details that are visibly wrong and they look like they shouldn't be there. So yeah, I'm just doing that. Boring, boring, boring. I go with the eraser tool, and after that is done, only thing left to do is try to erase everything. This is why I love using a black background. This is, by the way, a black blanket scarf I wear it outside all the time, but it also has the purpose of a black backdrop. Now I'm just removing a bit of the saturation of the color. I'm adding a bit of exposure. I'm playing with light and darkness, and of course I want to add this warm tone to the photo. Here I'm just trying to see the layer, how it looks better. Of course I decrease the opacity, and I think this is how I like it the most. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I really suck at doing tutorials. I will try to better myself in the future and maybe do some more in-depth Photoshop tutorials on how to do these little cute effects. I'm no professional, by the way, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Leave any comments or suggestions below that you would like to see, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!